Hello. Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning, Leon.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for having me
Hi.
here today.
Thank you for taking time to attend our show. I know that you're very, very busy, especially recently, after the MasterChef programs, and then you also started a new cafe, right?
Yeah, so a lot of things happening at the same time, but then at the same time, it's also quite exciting.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I'm very happy for you. Okay, so let's say hi to our audience. Hello, fellow educators and tutors. Welcome to the PIE Profitable Impactful Educator Series. This morning, we already have new faces. I think probably your fans and your friends. Okay, we have Randy. Randy is has been quite a regular to our show. And we have Yali also. Yeah. Okay, so say hi, Yali and Randy. So if you are there, say hi. Okay, so Well, we are waiting for more people to come in, right, to join this show. Let me just introduce for anyone who is not familiar with PIE. So what is PIE, right? So PIE, we are the voice of Southeast Asian tutors who embrace diversity and value the power of being informed. We empower tutors to increase profitability and deliver impactful, transformative teaching through relevant news, curated opinion pieces, and facilitated online discussion. We make tutoring a prestigious calling and profession. Okay, so that is our vision, right? That's our vision. So we don't want to have people saying that, hey, tutor is a interim kind of job. Yeah, we know that tutors are doing a lot for our kids, especially nowadays. The landscape is changing so much. Parents are getting very busy. So yeah, tutors and educators, we really play a very important role for the well-being of our kids. Okay, so Leon, today you are coming to share with us about how to infuse your passion in teaching. And I guess probably most of Singapore already know that who you are. You are a finalist to this MasterChef season 2, right? And you are also a freelance Chinese tutor. I don't know whether many people know about this. Okay, later I will introduce to our audience. I will introduce a little bit more in detail about what Leon does. He is really a multi-talented person. And I don't know how he's managed to squeeze so many activities in 24 hours. Okay, you have 24 hours, I have 24 hours, Leon has 24 hours. I don't know how he does it. So maybe one of his secrets is that you sleep very little, right?
Yeah, I think on some days I do sleep like maybe 3-4 hours, but then there are also days that I sleep 10-20 hours. So it balances out that way.
It's like hibernation.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, hibernation, then you need to tell people. Otherwise, you think there's maybe you are not feeling well or something like that.
Yeah, like a detox for a while.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, we have Jia Hao, who is Javier, joining us already. So hello, Javier. Okay, so to our audience, right, if this is the first time that you are coming onto this show, remember to like us and to share this episode with Leon, okay, to your friends. Today we are talking about passion. So Leon is a person who really, I think if this word passion really stands out when I see what Leon is doing day by day. Yeah, so if you have friends who are pursuing their passions, and sometimes they may feel disheartened, they may feel that, I'm living in this highly competitive, expensive society like Singapore, then how much is passion worth? Maybe I should just forget about my passion and just go and do what everybody else does. So if you have friends like that who need some encouragement, I think Leon is a perfect person that they should listen to. And so today, Leon's sharing will be about this thing. So do like us, do share about us, and then leave a comment if you have any of your personal takeaway later on. If you have any questions, also please, for Leon, also please remember to leave a comment. We'll address your questions. Okay, so okay, let me just go into, before we go any further, this show wouldn't be possible without the technical expertise and all the hard work of Jeffrey. So let's Jeffrey come onto the show and say hi, Jeffrey. Yeah, just now Jeffrey's fur kit, Spadin was here, but now Spadin don't go where already. Okay, so okay, now so this is your words, Leon. This is your words. You say we often see many working adults foregoing their passions in the pursuit of their careers, educators especially. Okay, however, it doesn't necessarily be the case. Let's learn from Leon. Okay. A freelance Chinese tutor and runner-up of MasterChef Singapore Season 2 to find out how you can infuse your passions into your teaching. So I think that's really, this is the theme of today, how to infuse your passion into your teaching. And I'm really looking forward to sharing from Leon. Okay, Leon is a former MOE Chinese Language Teacher. He left the ministry in 2018 to help with his parents' picture framing business. So if you have pictures to frame, do drop him a note. Okay. As he transitioned to a new career as an entrepreneur, he continued his education career as a part-time tutor while honing many different crafts, all at the same time. Leon believes that language learning cannot be mutually exclusive from one's daily life. While he first started started dabbling in his various passions as a way to get his students interested in the Chinese language. Many of these passions eventually became additional skill sets that allowed him to achieve many successes. Leon is currently a tutor, a singer, an event MC, a chef, an entrepreneur, a translator, an interpreter. Okay, so for those of us who are not familiar, right, translator and interpreter are different. Translator means that you talk, you hear and then you talk, right? You real
Translator
time.
is you do written.
Oh,
Interpreting
written.
is talk.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, outsider. So translator is writing, interpreter is talking. Okay, Leon can do both. Okay, he most recently appeared on MasterChef Singapore Season 2 and emerged as the first runner-up. His journey in the show captured the hearts of the nation as they watch him grow from strength to strength, showing tenacity and resilience in adversity, making him an inspiration to many. Today, we want to hear him share about his journey and how his passion makes him a better educator. So this is very interesting because I'm also a man with many passions, but I face a problem. So the passion became a problem to me because I feel that I'm constantly stretched in different areas. So I really, really want to hear from you, how you can actually make your passion reinforce your teaching rather than distract you from your teaching. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit of fun fact. Leon is Chinese language teacher and he comes from English-speaking family. So in his family, nobody speaks Chinese, right? Nobody speaks Mandarin, right?
Not very fluently.
Okay, and then you learn Chinese through singing and watching television series. Okay, awesome. Then you just given us our audience more reasons to watch more TV programs, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a TV junkie actually. I also watch a lot of TV, so that's also part of my passion. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Oh, we have audience. Eve Pua. Do you know Eve Pua? Eve Pua.
Yeah, Eve is from one of our BNI chapters as well. She's a friend. Yep.
Oh.
So hi Eve.
So you are also in the BNI chapter, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So you want to say hi to your BNI chapter?
Hi. Do share to everyone else in BNI as well.
Yeah. So which chapter are you from?
I'm from Synergy.
Synergy.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, BNI Synergy. Do drop by and say hi to Leon. Okay. Now let's get started with hearing from you about your story, right? So I'm curious, right? What got you started to join this MasterChef? I remember talking to you before your show actually was aired, right? And then you told me that you are in MasterChef, right? Yeah. So that time I still didn't know that you actually made it so far. Yeah. So that was like, so I feel very very happy that I know the finalist before he got the famous nationwide. Yeah. So tell us, how do you get started with the journey of masterclass?
So for MasterChef, it happened right in this current room that I'm in. So I was just contemplating, should I join or should I not? But because the application duration was like sometime early October last year, so it was somehow going towards the lull period for students because a lot of them after their after their end of year exams, and then some of them were like, let's take a break, So I had a significantly less amount of students because of the holidays, not because they ended a course with me, but they just needed a break for the year, right? So it just nice happened to be the audition and then the filming of the show. So I was in a way thinking, should I just invest this time to do something that is once in a lifetime experience? Yeah, so that was the main motivation, I would say. Yeah, and also to see how far we can go in something that we really enjoy, because I think most of us forget that we do have certain skill sets that are within us, but we kind of put them aside when we're working. Yeah, so I just wanted to know how far can I go with this skill set that I have, because the more you put yourself out there, the more feedback you get, be it good or bad. Yeah, and with this feedback, you know that, okay, then where should I change myself to improve, or am I already good enough? That kind of thing. So that was how it all started.
So you started not because you have an idea to say, oh, I want to be a professional chef, but because you are testing you want to test how much you can go, right? How far you can go. Am I right to say?
Yeah, because I still love to teach, and I didn't really think I want to be like a chef kind of person. It's more of like go and try and see how it goes. So it wasn't like I want to be the next MasterChef kind of thing. Yeah. So I mean I know of we do have some of the other contestants who are more driven in that sense, like their goal is really to win it. But for me it's like I wanted to have the experience of a lifetime, to enjoy, to make friends, and then to just have fun with it.
Wow, how interesting, right? When you go with the flow, when you just do it with your heart instead of caring about the outcome, well, actually you go very far.
Yeah. So it's unexpected. It's like, hey, I'm into the top 12, and further down into the top 6, and then like, oh, I'm still in the competition. Yeah,
Okay,
and
very,
then
very
so
interesting.
some of my students were calling me, teacher, can we will resume classes? Then I say like, I am still busy with something at the point in time.
Okay. Oh, we have more audience coming on. Angela Chin. We
Yeah.
have Angela Chin. We have Cassandra Lee.
Hi Angela, hi Cass.
Oh, you know, this they are your
Yeah,
friends,
hi
right?
Michelle. Yeah, all my friends.
Oh, okay. Hello. Okay, so to our audience, remember that this is today's theme is really about passion. Leon sharing about how he infused passion into his teaching. So if you have friends who are, you know, who cares a lot about their passion and they just need that extra boost, you know, somebody to show them an inspiring example that hey, you can follow your passion, and it will amount to something. Okay, please share this with them. Right? Okay, Leon. So we understand now why you joined masterclass, right?
Mhm.
So maybe we can just go into some advice. And before we do that, right? Any questions from audience? If you have any question about Leon's journey and all these things, right? Please remember to drop a message, and then we will come to that. Okay. So later on, we also have a dedicated Q&A. Okay. Good. Yeah. Sorry. Just not. Okay. Jeff, just remind me. I just want to say something wrong. Okay. So 3 tips. Your tips are very intriguing. So I want to tease out more. So the first tip that you say, right, is actually how is for us to set aside me time. Okay, set aside me time. Okay, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I think most of us, and I myself am somewhat guilty of it, is when we are working, we have all these deadlines and expectations of us when we are in the workplace that we forget that we ourselves need to be taken care of. We always feel that, at least for myself as an educator, we want to give everything we have for the child or the children that we're teaching. But at the same time, right, if you just keep on expanding yourself and you're not refilling, then at the end of the day, you feel very drained and you're very like worn out. There's a lot of burnout that you're feeling. So I feel that it is always important to set aside some me time to take care of yourself as an educator, especially, and then to refill the things that you have within so that you can give more. Then it's a more sustainable way of education, because I think that education can be quite draining at times because of the kind of helplessness that teachers can feel when you want to help a child, but the child doesn't want to be helped, or their parents, the situation doesn't allow them to break through from where they are, and then you give more, but more doesn't equate to more efficiency or more effectiveness. So there's this kind of stretch that teachers will feel that they're not good enough, they want to still provide more, but then if you don't refill, then there's nothing more you can provide. So that's what I feel happened to me somewhere down my 3rd year in education. But luckily, I had some me time, which like I will go and sing on a weekend. I will go and bake once in a while, and then all these kind of things refill what I have inside lah. Yeah. So that was what I meant by set aside some me time. Take care of yourself. And I really like to watch TV, so I watch MasterChef, and then I will learn certain techniques, and then I will record it in my database somehow.
Okay, I want to ask a bit more about this thing. Okay,
Yeah.
you like to watch MasterChef. That is something new to me. So when did you start conceiving the idea that, hey, since I like to watch this, why don't I just give it a try?
I think okay. So when MasterChef season 1 came, we were like, oh, got this kind of competition in Singapore. We didn't know, so we were like, okay, maybe the next time round it comes, right? Then we will try again. Then it so happened that this time round when someone sent me the link and said, hey, MasterChef is here again. Then I'm like, okay, then let's see how it goes. So I was sending to friends. I was saying like, hey, go, don't, because I was thinking like I want to be more focused on tuition for this year, right? So I was just sending this to my friends, say, hey, y'all go for this competition. Then they were like, hey, you go with us also lah. Then in the end, I signed up, and then the rest of them didn't sign up.
This is so funny.
That was how it happened. So it's like, I ended up signing up. I said, hey, I signed up already. You don't sign up already or not? I said, oh, we all forgot to sign up.
Okay.
But I ended up being the one.
Yeah. Oh, we have quite a few more. We have a John Yao joining us. John is also a regular of this show. Yeah. So hello, John. Hey, John Yao. He's also from
Hi,
PA.
John.
Hello. Oh, so okay, that's interesting. You got to thank your friends, and I think your friends are really quite funny there. Okay, so your me time. So these are all your interests.
Yeah, so I
just
mean,
want
I do
to.
have interest. I mean, I do sing. At that point in time, I was also singing for a live stream. And then baking, I was running a baking interest group. And then from time to time, I would just do some, because I enjoy doing translation work. So from time to time, I also get some translation work in, and I just do, and it kind of takes my mind off things lah. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I want to ask this question that's a little bit sensitive. Okay, you know we are living in a highly competitive society, and
Yes.
then everybody talks about specialization. You know, if you are good at something, just do it. Don't get distracted. And also, there's another very common thread of thought is that if this doesn't make money, don't do it. Don't be stupid. Don't waste time. You are not like some trust fund kids. So how do you see this this reasoning, and how do you are you aware of these things? Do people say that to you, and how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I think a lot of times we equate value to money or to a price point. But I think for me, I have to say that I'm quite lucky that I managed to secure a scholarship. So I didn't have to pay debts by the end of my education. So that is my first thing that I would say is a bit lucky lah. But at the same time, like all of us in a job, we have other things to pay for. And teaching was quite a stable income for myself lah. So compared to some other families, I might be a little bit more, I would say, blessed with all these opportunities. And I feel that I live within my means, and when I have more money, I will spend a little bit more on myself. If I have less money, I'll just spend a little bit less on myself. So I'll regulate it that way. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel that all these passions that we are doing, all these things that we do for free, in a sense, it is also value, and it comes back to you eventually. It's not an immediate thing. And I think a lot of times in the modern society, we look a lot at instant gratification. So for me, I feel that it didn't come back immediately. Excuse me. But then it came back in other forms. So like for example, singing, I sing for free a few years, and then after that, one day someone said, hey, I want to pay you to sing. So it's like you're honing your skill as you're doing these free gigs. But of course, I don't advocate doing things for free now because I realized that it was a very bad industry practice to kind of get new people in the industry to do things for free to exchange for exposure. Yeah. So at that point in time when I started, I wasn't aware. So I feel that, yeah, while it wasn't the best thing to have gone through, but then what I learned from the experience is that you will still become a better version of yourself because of all these things that you have tried. Yeah, and especially for skills, you really need to put in the hours to practice. And if you're just practicing, for example, singing in your bathroom versus singing in front of a stage, it is two different experiences altogether. Yeah, so I feel that all these adds up, even though some of these are not paid for, but it all adds up and it will come back to you sometime down in the future.
What I'm hearing from you is seems to be a kind of respect for your passion, right? So you are not afraid to carry to bring it forward and to go the extra mile with your passion. So instead of staying contented to say that I'm a bathroom singer, so you will say things like, hey, I want to try, why not just sing in front of an audience and see what happens, right? So that's what I'm seeing from you, and that's what I'm hearing from your sharing.
Yeah, and I realized that, so I started joining singing competitions actually, and it wasn't because like, oh, I want to win the money or I want to be famous. It's more of like, I want to put myself out there because I do have a lot of stage fright as a kid. So I just wanted to push my boundaries a bit to see how far I can go. It's always that wanting to break through yourself kind of motivation. Yeah, I would say. And yeah, so each time I stand on stage, the first time, I forget my lyrics. Okay, then never mind. Okay, we do better next time. So we just keep on trying, and you will come to a point where you are just comfortable on stage. So it's like that's the point where I know that okay, I can then move on to the next item that I need to learn, which is maybe like emote better when I'm singing. So it's always that takeaway from each experience. That one is more important to me than actually winning it. Yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot of humility and not taking yourself too seriously, that kind of attitude in you, right? And I think this humility also shows itself through all the MasterChef journey. And I think many people commented that you are really an icon of resilience and humility. You are very humble, and you just keep going, even in the face of adversity. Yeah. So I mean this is what I feel lah.
Yeah, I think a lot of times like in our growing up years, there are many people who equate success to an outcome. But I feel that success is also in the little things. Like I remember there was this competition where I joined the singing one and I didn't win the first place. In fact, I got second place twice in a row. So a lot of friends were asking, hey, you get second place again, why you never win, you know? But for me, it's like, I felt I already won because the day before I managed to break through something that was blocked for the longest time with the mentor of that competition. And that was more valuable than the prize money that was up for grabs. Yeah, so I felt that was the one thing that really solidified my belief in gathering experiences. Yeah.
I remember that you wrote a letter right after the result of the MasterChef came out, right? Yeah, and then you shared with us in the community, and then you said that letter I think is addressed to students, right? To children. Yeah. Can you maybe briefly summarize the content of the letter? What is the message that you want to say to students?
I think most of the time we are very caught up with what we are trying to do in our lives because like for students, their main job per se, their main business is studying, and they are having this kind of mentality that I must score well and must have like A1s and stuff like that. And frankly speaking, after so many years beyond the education system, all these grades don't really matter, I feel. And the fact is that we only get assessed on that one particular moment in the examination, but it doesn't mean that because you got a D means you are a bad person or a bad mathematician or whatever. Because in fact, I got a D for my A-level Chinese, and I'm not ashamed to share that because I feel that at that point in time, that was the grade I deserved because I didn't put in the effort to memorize the literature text, or I didn't understand what was going on at that point in time. But then learning is all about breaking through and going on to the next stage. So from someone who got D to getting a scholarship to study Chinese, you cannot say that you are a bad educator or bad student because you got a D at that point in time, you know. Yeah. So if you got a D, then what's next? You know, you should just try to improve and then get better the next time around, you know. But for many people in our society, they may not see it as like a progress or a process, I would say, but it's more of like, oh, then and there you are fixed already, which is not healthy, lah, I feel, because in our life that we are always growing, we're always learning. Yeah, and even up to now as a Chinese educator, I'm still learning Chinese by reading or by watching TV shows and stuff like that. Right? So it's an ever ongoing process, but then I don't know how it became that our society only fixated on the results at that point in time, and then you don't see beyond that already. Yeah.
Very short-term view, huh?
In a way, lah, yeah. But it is also very true that if you don't pass a certain barrier, then you can't achieve certain outcomes. That is for the bulk of the jobs in the society. But then in the new age, I think it's no longer true, lah, because there are so many more avenues now.
So many things are changing, transforming, and things people are still figuring things out. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, just now you mentioned something interesting, so I just want to tease our audience, right? So if you what I'm hearing from Leon is that you got a D for your A-level Chinese, and then eventually you still get a scholarship to study Chinese. Okay, if you want to hear this story, can you just leave a comment? And because we still have other content to cover, right? So if you want to hear this story from Leon, okay, please leave a comment. Okay, how he managed to get a D in A-level Chinese and still get a scholarship to study Chinese in university, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, and also Jeff has been saying that can I ask you to sing on air?
Maybe we'll sing at the end of this thing to get more people in, and then we'll sing at the end.
Okay. We'll sing, so you can stay true to the end. Okay. Oh, we have Irene also, and many comments from Yali and from Eve, and also from Irene Leong. Irene Leong is your friend?
Yeah.
Also Angela Chin. I think just now I mentioned already. Yeah. So okay. So Irene says please share. So later we'll come to that. All right. Okay. So let's move on to advice number 2. So we'll talk about your story later during the Q&A. So advice number 2 of how do we infuse passion into our teaching, right? You said, a little bit adds up.
Yeah, I think for myself, so I learned a cheesecake recipe, which was the one that I presented in the heats during the competition. So this recipe, it wasn't like immediately I got the recipe and then I made it into the finale dish, but it's more of over 7 years, I refined the recipe bit by bit to get to the point where it was in the competition, lah. Right? So for me, I feel that a little bit adds up because every little thing that you do is a bit similar to the singing experience that I shared earlier on, whereby every single time you go on stage, you get a different learning point. Yeah. So it takes a lot of awareness of yourself at that point in time, because a lot of times we just get caught up in the moment. But then I always like to do a bit of reflection after every experience. I don't write it down, but then I will store it somewhere in my database, lah. Yeah. So I would, in my database here. So I feel a little bit as well because every time we do see children coming to us and say, "Sure, I failed my Chinese again." But then I always ask them, so fail means what? You know, I get 39 out of 50. 39 out of 100. That is a fail because the passing mark, so to speak, is 50, right? But then they will tell me, last time I get 25 lah, now I get 39 lah. So would that be failure in that sense? You know what I mean? Because sometimes they don't see the improvements that they made. They only see black or white, but they don't see like the progress they're making. So I feel that if every time you increase by 5 marks, by the end of the 4th year, you probably get about 60 or 80 or 70 marks already, right? So why are we looking at you must get 90 at the start. You know, why can't we have like start from 25 and we go all the way up to 70? I think that growth is a lot more things, a lot more to be proud of, rather than, you know, wanting to just get an A1 straight off the bat. Yeah, of course, as a child, we didn't know better. We were like, oh yeah, we must get A, must follow into the mold, fit into what everyone is doing. But then as you go on in life, right, the grades really don't matter, and as I mentioned, and every time you grow, it adds to you as a person. So a little bit adds up in that sense. Even skills as well. Every time you do something different, you learn something new, that is also adding up to your eventual ability in that skill set. Yeah.
So that's how you manage to develop multi-talents all at the same time, right? Because you...
Yeah, I think at the same time, a lot of people will feel that I want to be at the peak of that one particular talent that I'm in. But for me, it's like I'll just grow everything a bit by bit. And then it seems like now everything is at a certain height. And that is something that I feel, I used to feel ashamed of it, because a lot of people say you are not focused, you are all over the place, you are a jack of all trades, you know. And it felt like a bad word to me, in a sense, like, oh, you're not good, you know, because you only can do, like, someone who is a singer like JJ Lin, perhaps he's the peak of the peak, you know, and then you are just like, oh, singing in your bathroom, you know, or you're singing in front of a live stream, you know, you're not at that level. But then eventually I realized that, yeah, I sing from one level and I increase. I don't have that superstardom, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I think that's also very important. Yeah, so I'm just growing all the different paths, and then one day it just happened. Like, I remember was when I was 30 years old, was 2 years back, that, hey, how come I'm doing so many different things and it seems like it's all doing pretty well? So I feel that, yeah, maybe that is how I got to live my life, and everyone's human experience is a very different experience altogether. Yeah, so there's no right or wrong. There's only you yourself growing in your own path, no? Yeah.
I'm very inspired by what you share. Now, I appeal to you not to be humble. Can you just tell us about these various things that you're involved in, right? What are the what kind of fruit has it produced so far?
I think at the end of the day, not only it's a form of self-satisfaction, there's also monetary rewards. Yeah, and for me, I don't feel that I really need the money per se, but then it's more of like people start to value your services, so to speak, with a certain price point. And I think that is a validation rather than more of like earning or income, you know. It's like last time when I started, people will pay like maybe $20 per song, you know. And now the highest I've gone is $200 or $300 a song. So it's also a way of telling you that, hey, your skill is at that level already, you know. So for me, I really enjoyed one particular gig, not because of the money, but it's because like the value that it was placed on that skill set. So I did a live subtitling and translation, means the speakers are speaking in English and then I'm typing in Chinese and subtitles. So it's like translate and type. And that was valued at $500 an hour. And to me, that was like, so now my skill set can command that kind of pricing, and that kind of value is given to that project. That was the thing that I felt the most validated with lah. Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's money per se, but it's more of like the value that people place on that skill set. Yeah.
Any example of synergy, like how it actually synergize? Okay, now before you answer that question, okay, let's look at the comments. Okay, so yeah, Eve says you are so multi-talented. Okay, okay, then I don't know who's this, but can't tell Leon's age. Still look very young. Okay. Yali says upgrading skills more important than having good results. Got many interests, not meaning you'll be jack of all trades. No right or wrong. Yeah. Okay. And multi-talented, very humble and calm guy. Yeah, sorry. Let's go back to the just now the question, right?
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry. Must be getting old. What was the question that I asked just now?
Actually, I also can't remember. I
Oh
also
no.
getting old.
Let's trace back. Okay, so we were saying about you having you try different things, right? Then different things will come.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was asking about synergy. So is there any incidents of like synergy, like one thing that you do, like singing, is actually helps to improve your other things, or your cooking actually help to improve your teaching, that sort of things?
Yeah, I think all these experiences, so my core, I would say, is still education. And I realized very early in my education career that if the child is interested in you as a character or as a person, they'll be interested in your subject. That's how I see the relationship between the educator and the student. Because our job is to bring the context and the concepts across. But if they don't like you, they won't listen. Yeah, so my very first year in education, I remember yelling at the class, and then I felt so tired, and I felt that it wasn't my style of teaching because I was encouraged to scold students in the school. Yeah, and then I didn't like it, so I couldn't reconcile my own personality with that kind of teaching. Yeah, so I felt that at that point in time, I needed to find a way to let my students like my subject. And I felt that the easiest way was to get them to like my subject through liking me. So then that was where I started to do all the different things. I'll bake for the kids to eat, I'll sing for them in class. Yeah, so all these things add back to my teaching as an educator. And eventually the students will be like, wow, sure, how come you learn Chinese, but your English also very good, you can do this, you can do that. So it opens up a dimension for the students to see that actually, because I think a lot of times there's this stigma that Chinese teachers are bad in English. That's the first thing. Right? Then the second is that Chinese teachers only read and read and read and then read Chinese most of the time. But I think that is a very misguided kind of thinking, because the new age Chinese teachers, we are all from the same education system. We all grew up in a bilingual system. We have our own passions. We are people. Teachers are all human beings, and we do have our passions. So I feel that all these things that I do, and then I post them on Instagram, the students see it, they have a conversation with you, it sparks off something in them, and then they will ask you, I want to learn how to sing, or should I pursue music, or should I pursue cooking or culinary? Then with all this experience, then I can give them better advice. Yeah, so it all adds up. And then by reading more things, exposing yourself to more experiences, then when you tell stories, when you teach story writing, when you teach argumentative writing, all these experiences then come back to prove certain points to the students, or to show them that things can be done this way. So it's a lot of like broadening the horizons of the person, of the child. So all these experiences add up to the education part of things.
So if you have a student who is a little bit somewhat like you, has multiple interests, multiple passions, but still schooling. So what would you what advice that you give to to a student like this?
I think for students, they need to look at the time that they have. Okay, I'm very lucky to not have a lot of tuition when I was a kid. Not that tuition is bad, but it's more of like I felt that I wanted to be a bit more self-reliant when I was a student. So I had a lot more time on hand to experiment with different things as a child. Yeah, and I had a lot more time to play. But I think the child or the student in the 21st century now, they are having a lot of other commitments, not just tuition. They might also have certain commitments like TikTok or Instagram, right? And I wouldn't say that it's totally bad, because they also learn different skill sets, and we are in a very like volatile world, and it's ever changing, and the new media industry is also coming up and coming, right? So all these are experiences that they are doing to increase their ability in that realm, right? So if you are doing something for students, like if you are intending to pursue something, right, definitely what I said earlier on, give yourself some me time and explore in that area rather than just getting busy and tired all the time studying. Because some of the things you're learning, right, it may not eventually be helpful in the future lah. That's one thing. And also for some students, I feel that because of their desire to please their parents and fit their parents' expectations, they add a lot of stress on themselves. But I also have to caution students. I mean, I know it's a bit too young for them to have this conversation, but at the end of the day, they are their own person and they will be the ones living their life at the end of the day, not their parents. So they need to do something for themselves so that they will thank themselves in the future lah. So for someone who is in the pursuit of a passion, right? Like I have students who love to dance and I see them posting dance TikTok covers all the time. And at the same time, study, not too bad. Can go JC, can go to university course that they enjoy. So it's not impossible. It's just that don't get too caught up with just chasing the grades and not forgetting your other passions in life.
Does that apply to educators as well? So should give ourselves time and space for our passion rather than just teach and teach and teach and teach.
Yes, I think most of the time, as I mentioned earlier on, a lot of the educators like to give a lot of themselves out. But then if there's nothing else to give, right, then at the end of the day, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
Right? So by fueling yourself with these passions, it actually comes back to you in a sense like you get more experience to share. These are the additional things that you can provide for your students. And by doing this, you are making yourself a better educator because you are, okay, I feel like personally, when I'm teaching, I also want to be learning something. So as a learner, I also observe my learning styles. What are the things that are stressing me out? What are the things that are good for me as a learner? And I apply that to my teaching as well. So the part about passions and learning your passions is not just about making yourself a better educator in terms of having more skill sets, but also being in the same boat as the students and able to learn the fact that they are also learning and we are also learning. And then you don't, well, I feel that a lot of educators when I was younger, they'd be like, godlike, they like talk down to you and then like they download everything to you. And then it's like they are the epitome of truth, that kind of thing. But I feel that that's not the right way to teach lah, because sometimes teachers will make mistakes and then be like, oh, I just want to test you whether you are listening or not. Yeah, so I really don't feel that that's the best way to tell a kid. Yeah, so I will tell them like, oh, the day I was learning how to bake a cake and then I failed. So I know that then that can be related to a failure that they might feel in their own learning process, their own learning journey. So so I think as an educator, as you're learning something, you also can relate and resonate with the students as they are learning something as well.
Okay. To all our audience and our tutors, educators out there, right? So we have Leon has talked a lot about his passion and how passion permeates different areas of his life and actually builds up a wonderful ecosystem, right? So if you find that any of this advice makes sense to or may help your friends, please remember to like and share. All right. And if you have any questions, so far I don't see many questions, but a lot of very affirmative comments. You have a lot of supporters. So people are saying great things. We have Sandy saying that you are inspiring. Okay, we have Eve saying that you are nurturing kind of educator. And we have Olive says that wonderful that you did so well in so many things to relate to your students. Yeah. So okay. So if you have any questions, okay, we do have a Q&A session. So just now, actually, I think we have accidentally went into this particular drawing parallel with teaching. So I think some of the things that you said just now actually has a bit of parallel with teaching, right? Like how you fit of your failures and how does it relate to teaching. So any more? Can you share with us more?
Yeah, I think a lot of times when we teach, at least for myself, I think that live lessons are very in tune with language learning. So a lot of times when I read something, I will just share with my students. And whenever I go through a certain experience, I also tell them like, oh, I didn't like certain things, and then I had to experience that. So I feel that the teaching part is not just about teaching the subject per se, but it's also teaching them certain values. And I'm just very lucky to have had the opportunity to do that because the subject matter that I am teaching in the school is very value centric. So whenever I read, when I read a comprehension text to the students, then I will exclaim out. It's a bit weird. Some teachers like blah 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 read like robot, right? And then I'm like, I want to tell you something. Then I was saying, oh, that day I did this. Then I feel it's very similar to the author's experience. So then you will draw a parallel to the content, and then it makes it more interesting for the child. Yeah. So I think not just for Mandarin, I think English can do that. Even for math and science, like I was pondering about certain concepts in life, and then I saw this thing happening. So it is bringing in the life part of teaching. You cannot have the concepts exclusive from the life. As what I mentioned in the introduction. Whatever we are learning, we have to apply it in our day-to-day. So we can draw parallels from the day-to-day to the teaching, and then the kids can see it drawn back. So there's this exchange of like learning and then applying, learning and applying kind of thing. Yeah. So I feel that is what I meant by drawing parallels with teaching. Like even in your passions, when you fail, bring it back to your teaching. When you succeed, bring it back to your teaching. Yeah.
You know what you say is really comes out very strongly at me, right? That you don't believe that teaching should be in the classroom. It is actually teaching is in life, and life is in teaching, right? Lessons are in life, life is in lessons. This is something that come across very strongly at me. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I know that the textbook is there for a reason, is to guide the syllabus and the curriculum and everything. But it is the person that is teaching that is responsible for bringing that lesson to life, I feel. So I felt that when I was teaching in the schools, I tried my best to bring all these things to the kids. Yeah, and now as a tutor, because as a tutor is a little bit different because every child has a different kind of needs and wants. Although the school, yes, you have different needs and wants in the classroom, but you are teaching the classroom as a whole. So you prepare one material and then you share with the whole class, and you never know who you will impact But then for tuition, it's like as we go along, each child will feed you certain information, and then you will tweak from there. So it's a little bit different as a tutor and as a teacher in the school. Yeah. So at least when I was back in school, whenever I read something, I can draw something out. I will just tell the kids immediately. Yeah. And a lot of them feel that they remember the content better through the stories that I tell rather than the textbook itself. Yeah. So it kind of reinforces the learning for them. Yeah.
Okay, great. So to keep our promise to our audience. Okay, just now we talked about sharing about how you actually got a D in A-level Chinese and then still secure a scholarship. Yeah. So can you share with us that story?
Okay, so in A-levels, so I didn't take higher Chinese as a student. I did higher Chinese in primary school. Then after that, I didn't do well enough to continue higher Chinese in secondary school. So I just got by with Chinese when I was in secondary school, and there was this thing in me that said I wanted to do Chinese no matter what. So I went on to JC and then I did my Chinese, and I just couldn't click with the teachers. I couldn't click with the content. I think also partly because like my rebellious streak came a bit late so I was rebelling during JC rather than secondary school. So I didn't want to memorize the literature text for the A-level Chinese paper, and I didn't want to like bother about reading. So So at that point in time, I didn't manage to do well because half the time I don't know what's going on in the class. Yeah. So eventually I only got a D for Chinese. In A levels, D is still a pass, but it's not a very good pass, right? So I was thinking, oh, so how I want to teach Chinese, but then my Chinese is so bad now. So how? Then I went to NIE and I applied, and then they said, oh, why don't you teach math? I got A for math, right? Then you got D for Chinese. You should be a math teacher. So it's like at that point in time, I realized that yeah, your grades only bring you somewhere because they are prerequisites to courses. Yeah. So I was like, you know, I don't teach math. Like, I mean, no offense to math teachers, but like, I personally don't want to teach math because I can do math, but I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, oh, the formula like that I apply. The formula like that I apply. Then I practice a lot. Yeah, but then I don't really know what is happening in the formula lah. Yeah, so I felt that it wasn't something that I could teach someone else, you know. So eventually I got accepted to NTU and NUS Chinese. Then I chose NTU in the end. Yeah, and then I was thinking, you know, I'll just slog out these 4 years and we see where we go lah. Yeah, then after that we went to. So I remember the first oral presentation I had to do in university, and it was still very bad because right after NS, right, of 2.5 years not really using Chinese in the workplace, then you have to jump straight into a pure Chinese environment. Yeah, it was quite daunting for me, and I was like just so afraid of making mistakes in the very first module. Yeah, but then I was lucky enough to do well for modules such as linguistics, which was a bit more sciencey in nature. Yeah, I did well in communication classes. Yeah, the literature classes I didn't do very outstanding. It was like a B, but it was good enough to secure a GPA that could apply for a scholarship lah. Yeah, so with that we applied, and then I realized that during the interview process, right, they are also looking out for you as an educator, how your character is like, your personality, your skill sets. It's not just a one criteria thing when it comes to assessing teachers for the interview. So it's more of like, yeah, you must be able to do a few things. You are able to share your education philosophy. So they're also looking at who you are as a person. Yeah. So I felt that everything added up, and then I got the scholarship in my second year of university lah. Yeah. So it was quite yeah, they didn't see the result at the A level lah. They saw the results at the first year of university. So in a way, our system does still give second chances. Yeah. So that was something I was very thankful about lah.
Okay, I got the phrase, everything came together.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I want to ask you, are you comfortable to sing for our audience?
Yeah, sure.
We have many requests.
Let me find lyrics. I have very bad memory when it comes to lyrics, so that was something that hindered my first few competitions.
It's the first time on this show that somebody is singing.
I ever did. So I did a 55 episode live stream 5 years back, and then I was singing every episode lah. So that was quite interesting an experience. Yeah. So I wouldn't say I sing exclusively Chinese songs, but I do Chinese songs most of the time. Yeah. So let me find a song from maybe JJ Lin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I usually use his songs for auditions because there's a lot of showmanship in the music. Yeah. So is there any particular song that you might like?
Let's look at the comments. Okay, so our audience out there, if you have any particular comment, any particular preference for songs, this is the time to key in the comment section. Okay, let's wait for a while.
I can hear you speaking.
Yeah. Do you know that you are on Facebook Live now? Yeah, right. The whole world can see you, you know.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Oh no.
See a few dedications. We got dedication from Eve Ni Guang.
Yeah. Hey, you choose. You choose.
All right, let's do that. Okay, so yeah, my voice haven't opened in the morning, but let's see how it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ni Guang, let me find lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing I would like to also say is that sometimes your passions may or may not work out. So you see the green thing behind me is a keyboard. So
Okay.
I've been learning a keyboard for 2 years. I still can't play and sing, so I'm still working on it.
Okay. Is that what keyboard? You mean the thing that's covered with?
Yeah, it's an electric keyboard.
Oh, right. Hey, I assume everybody who can sing can play keyboards. It's not true.
I learned how to play the guitar for 3 months and I stopped because my fingers not long enough to do the bar chord. Then after that, the keyboard, I shouldn't make excuses, but then I learned the keyboard and I realized that my fingers would just cross each other. So I was like, I need to practice a bit more. Okay. So let's go into this song, Nikon. Okay, I'll just sing the chorus part, and then I also think that this song is very meaningful because it's a little bit more uplifting than I think for most educators as well. Sometimes
what is the song about actually?
To me, I think everyone has a different interpretation of the song, but I feel that sometimes we go against the light. But I think what I feel from this song is that we go against certain struggles, but then we might come out shining. You know, that kind of concept lah. Okay.
Oh, awesome.
So let's do the lyrics. 有一束光，那瞬间是什么痛的字眼？你的视线是亮剑，为什么舍不得熄灭？我逆着光，却看见那是泪光，那力量，我不想再去抵挡。面对希望，逆着光，感觉爱存在的地方，一直就在我身旁。All right, that's the lyrics for 逆光。
Beautiful. Okay. You just inspired my daughter. You can hear piano in the background, right? So I also want to play. Okay, hey, we have a question.
Yes.
Okay, Olive asked a question. How did being a finalist in MasterChef help your students?
Okay, my students are a bit weird. They told me, right, sure, when you become famous, you must remember us, okay? Because we are the first to criticize you. Like, what nonsense is this? Yeah, but I mean, we have this very student-friend relationship, teacher-friend relationship. And I think it really piqued a lot of interest in some of the students who, they might be thinking that, I don't know what I want to do in my life, but then you see someone trying their best to pursue something that they're passionate about, and then they'll be like, oh, teacher, how do you do it? So it's a lot of interest in the students to want to know more about you and how you do it as well. So in a way, I felt that as I mentioned earlier, it drawn them to me, and then it draws them to my subject. So it's this, I would say, ai wu ji wu lah, okay? Like you like something and like everything about that thing. So my students, I felt that some of them, not all, some of them are a little bit more attentive now in class. Yeah, and then they will ask me questions about MasterChef, which actually keeps the conversation in the classroom going. Yeah, and it makes it a bit more lively lah, and then it's not so boring. And then sometimes the kids will like, how come the time pass so fast in your class? Yeah, that kind of thing. So I feel that it makes them more interested in me, interested in the lesson, interested in the content we are teaching, and then it breaks the monotony of the classroom as well.
Yeah, because through conversation with you, not only you impart value, you also can engage them in speaking Mandarin, right? Good. Okay, thank you so much. Oh yeah, you have how do we get in touch with you? Or do you have any message for our audience? Like, how do they follow you, or how do they get in touch with you? Do you have anything special that you would like them to give it a shot, give it a try, or something like that?
So for everyone out there, first and foremost, based on the theme of today, I hope that you continue to chase your passions. Do really set aside some me time for yourself, and then also don't think that every failure is like a failure per se, but it's more of like you fail one time, but next time you get better. Yeah, and also for educators, whatever experiences you have in life, do share with your students. For myself, we do have a few things on the plate. So for my IG, do follow me on IG at Leon Lim CL.
Yeah.
Okay, the cafe is creator creator.sg. There's no O there. Okay, creator.sg. Okay, and also visit our cafe, do the takeaways. Okay, the links can be found in both my IG and creators' IG profiles. And also look out for some articles here and there. And in the near future, I hope to speak to more people to also share my experiences and also to inspire you to be more passionate with your skill sets. Yeah.
Oh, so Leon, so if in the future, if there's any audience that we feel that you can inspire them, so you are open to actually speaking to the audience, online, face to face.
Both is fine. Yeah.
Awesome, that's good. We have Hui Fang also sharing. Yeah, Hui Fang also share the Facebook page of your creator. So you also know Hui Fang, right?
Yeah, I know Hui Fang. So I did a project with Hui Fang once before. We were doing Dignity Day. Yeah. So that was another exciting experience as well.
Yeah. Oh, we have a potentially sensitive question. I don't know lah. I can just show this. Okay. Eve says, my girl ask you, who is your best friend in MasterChef?
Okay, my best friend. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't say there's one best friend, but it's a few best friends. I'm closest to Zephyr, Mel, and Ganesh. So we still hang out, and they are coming over to the cafe on Monday to pick up my crab burgers. Yeah, so we still talk. I met Mel 2 days back. I met Zephyr called me yesterday. So even half a year after the competition, we are still talking. Yeah, so I really enjoy that. Through this process, it's not about what you want in terms of the prizes, but the friends you make, the experiences you keep, the memories you share. Yeah, things like that. That really means a lot more to me. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, really thank you for taking time. I really admire your heart to share, and you take your personal time. I know that you are very, very busy at this moment. Your creator, just like you share, right? Your creator restaurant every day is fully booked, and so audience, if you are interested, to check out what they offer on what Leon offers on Creator Restaurant, check it out. You have to be early. All right, you have to be early. Right? Can I say that?
Yeah. So for orders for today and Saturday are all sold out already. So there are some orders left on Sunday, and then so do remember to go and grab your burgers, and then in the near future we will also add more items in because it was really a 1 day effort to pivot. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we thank you for taking time to come onto this show, right? So we want to appreciate you for spending time with us, and also to our audience who spend time watching this show. And we hope that you take away something that really inspire you and that really helps you to pursue your passion. I think Leon has really been a living testimony of nurturing your passion. It's not all about results, right? Okay, we'll be back next on the 9th of July. So we'll be taking a break in the June holidays. Okay, so 9th of July we'll be back, and we'll be having more great tips from Edmund Kong. Okay, Edmund is a really, really special person. Okay, when I say his profession, you may be thinking, what has it got to do with teaching and tutoring and learning, right? So Edmund is an award-winning clown, okay, who will share with us very powerful lessons to use happiness to connect to your students. I think this is very, very timely message, especially now during this heightened alert, right? Many of us are cooped up at home, and then we may be feeling very pent up. Okay, so how do you bring happiness to your students even at times like this? So do catch us on 9th of July with Edmund, right? So like and follow us and share this video if you have any friends who are pursuing their passions and they need some encouragement. All right, you never know what kind of impact you will bring to them. Thank you, Leon. Thank you for sharing your heart today. And we look forward to seeing more things from you in various aspects of your passion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jason, for having me, and thank you to Jeffrey for the behind-the-scenes support.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.